Hi all, welcome to the channel or welcome back to the channel, and in this one today we're going to be building our modular walls for the Underhive. So it's basically a revamp, a reboot as you will of my previous walls which I made years ago, except these ones look way cooler than the ones I made back then. Alright, without further ado, I'm going to take you to the crafting table and let's do this! Come on! Alright, so we begin by making a template that is 10 centimeter by 6 centimeter. Then we're gonna mark out half a centimeter on the top, on the left and on the right. And we're gonna draw these lines you see on screen right here. Alright, now once we've done that, we're gonna mark out 1.5 centimeter from the bottom up, left and right. And then we're gonna draw this line. After that is done, we're gonna mark out the halfway point and draw a line straight down. Or straight up. This will divide it in equal sections. Now next to that we're gonna mark half a centimeter on both sides of the halfway point and we draw another line, dividing it like this. Mark out the halfway point on both center squares, and with some painter's tape roll we're gonna draw these curved angles you see here. Once we've done that, we're gonna do that again, but half a centimeter above the first curved line we just drew. Alright, once this is ready, this is the template. We're gonna glue it on some cardstock with a glue stick, and then we're gonna cut it out carefully. Now keep the thing you cut out here because we will need these later on for the columns as well, but this will be for another video. But be careful when you do this. Now use 2 centimeter thick XPS for concrete walls and cut these 20 centimeters long by 6 centimeters high. I use my Proxxon to cut these walls, but with a sharp box cutter you can also do this. Now make as many walls as you want. I have 8 20 centimeter long ones and 6 30 centimeter long ones. Next I start to cut half a centimeter by 6 centimeter high sheets, and these will be for my arch parts of the wall, but you can use half a centimeter foam board to do this as well. You will need 2 per wall, and I'm gonna cut 1.5 centimeter by 1.5 centimeter beams, and later on I'm gonna cut these at a slanted angle. Again, you can use foam board to do this as well, guys, and like so. And this will be my pre-cuts all done, so it's time to start building our arched walls. But you will need to trace this template on half centimeter sheets and then cut out the arches, but be sure that your X-Acto knife is sharper than mine, okay? Because my blade was dull as hell, so that will tear up the foam, unfortunately. Then we're gonna draw these lines here as well, and with the tip of my pen I'm gonna punch in the rivets. If you are very patient you can use very tiny balls to put it, but I'm not that patient. It looks like this now, and I also cut half a centimeter by half a centimeter beams to put on top of the wall, as you can see me do here. Alright, now I start to roll a tinfoil ball to texture all over the concrete wall. Go nuts, do them all in one go, we'll save time later. Alright, cool. Once both sides are textured, I use PVA and start gluing these arches, the buttresses, the half centimeter beams on top, and both sides of my wall. And my wall is a little bit longer, so I cut it out. Next, with some plastic mesh strips, I'm gonna measure the top, like so. Trace this, cut it out, and this will fit the plastic canvas, the mesh. And I'm gonna stick that down with some simple PVA glue. I have used a slanted beam for the buttress and cut them to half centimeter by 1.5 centimeter strips, and these will be glued on top here to add more details. Alright, now I'm cutting some more pieces here because I have a lot of walls to go through. I also glued some rectangles on top of the walls to simulate the lights, and here I'm drawing in some cracks, the concrete. Adding more details here, punching in some more rivets, drawing in a ventilation, some air vents, gluing a grate down. I also added some cables, some skulls, some small piece to represent some panels, some lighting, electric fuse boxes, all kinds of stuff like this. Just it all adds to give more flavor to your walls. But you don't have to do this, but I like the way it looks. So as you can see, I've built a lot of walls. Alright, prime it all by hand in black or a foam safe spray, if you have one. 90% coverage with a cheap brown acrylic, but be sure to stipple and not paint this, okay? And it's okay for the black to shine through, just 90% coverage. All over. Once it is dry, it looks like this. Now next I do the same with a silver paint, but 70% coverage, and then I cover the concrete parts again with the dark brown. This will also get rid of the excess silver. Now do all these walls, all right? Best to do it in one go. Get it all done. And with my paint water, yes, paint water, I make a dark blue glaze, not a wash. It will have the metallic sheen in it, so that is what you'll need. And I'm gonna cover all the silver parts to create a very faint blue sheen on it. I mix up some white, some black, some brown to create a stone gray color, and then I paint the concrete walls in a stippling motion. Again, stippling, leave a bit on the edges, alright? This will be our first layer. A dark concrete tan gray. Do that for all the concrete parts. Also the small triangles in the top. Doesn't matter if you get some onto the details. Alright, cool. Now, mix up a cream tan color and stipple the center of the concrete as I am doing here. Again, all over the concrete. And if you want to, you can hit the skulls as well, but I'm doing them with the red bone later on, so it will look like this now. Next I use a very light, almost pure white gray color and very lightly stipple the concrete, but don't overdo it. It would be best to use a beat up frayed brush or a torn sponge. It will look like this now. And this will really make it pop, make the concrete look like, well, yeah, like concrete. Right, nice. Now I redo step 1, stipple brown and acrylic all over the metal parts, and do it again with an orange paint for the rust effect, and then add more dark brown if you overdid it with the orange, but be sure to leave some of the silver through, of course, like so. Okay, so dumbass that I am, I accidentally deleted the next footage, but here's some of the images what I did next, and after that I will show you the walls. So I added a black wash only into the cracks of the concrete. I painted the light with a pure white, and once that is dry, I used Contract's Ethermatic Blue for the light effects. Then I painted the fuse boxes in black with some hazard stripe and painted the cables red and black as well. Also the round lights got a red and a green color over a white base coat. Then the skulls got a base coat of red bone and a layer of contrast skeleton horde. And on very sparingly panels, I glued down a wanted poster. I did not want to go nuts because this could also serve for a Space Hulk and not only for Necromunda. So, but yeah, that's what I did. So it looks really cool. Now let's look at the finished pieces on the table, guys. On my new Necromunda board with some added light effects, and you can see the walls really match the setting, and I'm very pleased how these turned out. They are very durable, very strong. You can place a lot of weight on top of these things. They will not buckle. You can even place some Malstrain Tyranids on top of that, some Gene Stealers. Some stairs, some steps. The lighting, it really looks cool, and it really gives that Underhive vibe. And yeah, I'm really happy with my walls, and I will be doing a lot more terrain for Necromunda, redoing all my earlier crafts and upgrading them. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye for now. Bye.